Happy Sunday. It seems like Sunday is my new upload day, so hello. More on loneliness. So, if those of you who watch me don't know yet, but I am a follower of Teal Swan. She calls herself the spiritual catalyst, and yeah, I like her. So I got her new book called The Epidemic of Loneliness. Oh no, the Anatomy of Loneliness, which talks about the epidemic of loneliness. And she talks about fragmentation, and I think this is something, I wish that this lighting was better in my life right now. This is something that really resonates with me, and it just makes sense to me how we put ourselves into these boxes of just having to be this one person. Like, I feel like we're labeled at a young age as to like the kind of person that we are and the kind of person that we don't. Like saying like, oh, I'm an introvert, I'm an extrovert, I'm a person that doesn't like parties, or like I'm a person this and this and that. Countless definitions for people and the kinds of people that they are. And then there's the disorder that we know of as multiple personality disorder, where some people have these multiple personalities inside of them. But the way that Teal Swan and my kind of approach now, because I totally agree with the things that she says for the most part, like everybody has multiple personalities, everybody has fragments of themselves, and the way that society shapes us as a young age is as soon as we are shamed for any sort of behavior or an identity or a part of our identity that we have, if we're ashamed of it, we will repress that identity and not act it to gain love and respect from other people. So, at the same time, as other people are shaming these parts of ourselves because they're projecting their acquired thoughts of what is right and wrong, we're shaming a part of ourselves, so we are neglecting or, shaming, pretending that a part of ourselves is not us. So I could categorize myself as being an introvert, even though there are times when I go out, well, not go out in the sense of like going out to bars and stuff, but like one day I will want to be social and I'll go to a party, or I'll go to a place and I will have a good time. Other times I go to parties and I don't have a good time. So what do? I leave, because I ask myself, okay, well, what would someone who loves themselves do in this moment? Leave. Okay, then I'll leave. But maybe one day I will stay at said party because I just so happen to be having a good time that day, and I just so happen to be social that day. But if I've categorized myself as introvert, then I guess a part of me would say like that I can't go to any parties ever because I will never have a good time, but that's not always the case. This isn't a great example, I'm gonna be honest, but a good example, which is an example that I'll take from a video of Teal Swan. Like, she did a workshop on her new book recently on her channel, where there's someone up on stage that is talking about how when they were a kid, their parents would shame how loud they were. So let's say a kid is really loud and their parents or someone tells them, stop being so loud, the neighbors are gonna hear you. So then this kid, even though this kid enjoys being loud and enjoys expressing themselves, is going to not do that, and then the part of themselves that needs to express won't be able to. So then perhaps that person's throat chakra will be really blocked or something, and maybe this person will get a lot of throat infections throughout their life. For example, go watch my video on the throat chakra that I did. So yeah, that's why some people might have a lot of things to say, but will feel ashamed or afraid of this part of themselves because in the past it would have brought on negative a negative energy or a negative, what's the word I'm looking for? Response, negative response from a person that they look up to, because when a baby is born, they're completely dependent and they don't know what's right and wrong. So it's up to their parents or guardians to guide them there. But unfortunately, it seems like a lot of that is kind of messed up. But also, it seems like any parent, even if I were to be a parent aware of these things, there's something that I won't be doing properly that the child will have to figure out for themselves. And that's the joy of life, is to figure out how to be a parent to the parts of yourselves that your own parents or guardians were unable to satisfy. And that's why awareness is important. So, fragmentation. The fragments are all of the different personalities. It could be like 10 different personalities or like 100 different personalities, just like so many parts of ourselves. Those are the fragments, and a big part of loneliness is that we're pushing these parts of ourselves away. But once we can be aware of these parts and be aware that our thought pattern or our acquired beliefs or inherited beliefs that is placed onto this part of me that I am pushing away are not necessarily true, that I can let go of that and in turn bring this part bring this part closer to myself. And the more I can bring these parts closer to me, the less lonely and disconnected from my authentic or true self that I will feel. So that's my thoughts on loneliness, and that's sort of where I'm going in this journey, is to pinpoint whenever I feel shame or whenever I feel like embarrassed or afraid of a part of myself. For example, I knew that I wanted to teach yoga, but there was a part of me that believed that I didn't know enough, that I don't know enough. And not knowing enough is like a big one I find in this day and age, is I'm not good enough. I don't know enough to do this thing. So that lack of confidence. So I pinpointed that belief and I said, hey you, thanks, but no thanks. I want to join myself back to this part of me that has a lot of things to say, hence making YouTube videos. So in turn, I'm finding joy and I'm reconnecting with the parts of myself that are feeling joy from sharing the things. And it takes practice because sometimes the words don't flow, but I know today I feel a little bit better. Yeah. Any feedback, comments, questions, let me know. Maybe you can subscribe. Maybe you can like this video. This is the fragment of me that is ashamed of asking for approval because I don't want to sound conceited. But this is who I am right now. And it seems like I always end my videos the same. So anyways, the process, progress. Yeah, okay? Thank you. Thank you for watching. From my heart to yours, peace and namaste. Goodbye.